From the earliest years of your life, you may have experienced moments that seemed out of the ordinary. Experiences that at the time didn't make sense, but today reflect something bigger. Small details, gestures, or feelings may have served as clues to a special purpose reserved for you. These experiences, although subtle, carried signs of a unique path that was already being traced for your existence. From an early age, some people realize that their life follows a different rhythm. While many children were completely immersed in everyday life, you may have noticed something unusual within yourself. Perhaps a deeper connection with the world, a natural curiosity about bigger questions, or even a tranquility that arose unexpectedly. These small, seemingly simple signs carried important meanings that indicated that your life would not be like others. Revisiting your childhood, you may recognize moments when you felt unique or out of place. Those occasions when you seemed to be out of place or disconnected from what others were living may, in fact, have been manifestations of something greater working in your life. These sensations did not arise by chance. They served as preparation for something special that you were called to do. Now is the time to look at your history with new eyes and recognize these signs as pieces of a larger puzzle. They were not there by coincidence, but as part of a plan that has been revealed little by little. Your mission is linked to these details that have always been present. Watch the full video and deepen this reflection. It can help you identify these signs and understand that your childhood already had clear evidence that you were chosen for something extraordinary. And if these words resonate with you, share them in the comments. Your experience can illuminate the path of others who are also discovering their purpose. From the earliest years of your life, you may have felt that you saw the world differently. While other children were completely immersed in play, without major worries, perhaps you preferred moments of observation or silence. You may have been that child who, in the midst of the commotion, would sit in a corner, thinking or analyzing what was around them. This introspection, however unusual it may have seemed, was the beginning of something special. Perhaps you noticed that your interests weren't exactly the same as your friends. While many were focused on running, shouting, or having fun in a more expansive way, you seemed to have a deeper look at things. You may have been interested in observing how people behaved, noticing expressions or feelings that others ignored. Or, who knows, you like to ask difficult questions that adults found complicated or unexpected, like, why are we here? Or what happens after someone passes away? These traits, often mistaken for shyness or strangeness, were not flaws, but indications of a special sensitivity. It was as if you had a connection to something that couldn't be seen, but was present. This sensitivity may have manifested in various ways, from noticing changes in the behavior of people around you, to feeling that certain situations had a greater meaning, even without a clear explanation. For example, you may have had experiences where you sensed something before it happened. Perhaps a friend needed help and, without saying anything, you felt like getting closer. Or, who knows, you might have caught yourself thinking of solutions to problems that weren't even yours, but that seemed important. This expanded perception is a rare gift, and from an early age, pointed to the fact that your journey would be different. Another characteristic that may have stood out in childhood was your ability to connect emotionally with people in a deep way. You might have felt a need to comfort someone who was sad, even without fully understanding the reason. Or maybe you were the one who always sought to help the most excluded, even if it wasn't common among your peers. This empathy, which went beyond your age, was a reflection of your ability to genuinely care about others. In addition, you may have noticed that you had a genuine interest in understanding things that others found unimportant. While many wanted to know about games or fictional stories, you might have been drawn to more meaningful conversations or accounts of people who overcame challenges. This kind of fascination doesn't arise by chance. It reveals a curious mind and a heart willing to learn and grow. These signs, throughout childhood, could add up to moments when you felt out of place, not because you were rejected, but because it seemed like you saw the world from a unique perspective. While others seemed to fit perfectly into their groups, you felt there was more to discover. This feeling, however uncomfortable it was part of your preparation. It wasn't about fitting in, but about realizing that there was a different path reserved for you. For example, imagine a situation where you were in a familiar environment, but felt that something wasn't right. Even without understanding exactly what it was, your intuition indicated that there was something more going on. This perception may have arisen several times, in both good and challenging situations. These moments were more than coincidences. They were reminders that your connection to the world went beyond the superficial. In addition, you may have been the person who noticed details that no one else saw. Perhaps you were able to perceive the emotion in a conversation even when the words didn't make it clear. Or, who knows, you identified someone's intentions before they were spoken. This ability to read situations was proof that you had something special from a very young age. This kind of sensitivity may have also awakened in you an interest in stories of overcoming challenges and purpose. Perhaps you were inspired by people who turned their difficulties into something greater, even when you were very young. These stories not only caught your attention, they resonated with something inside of you, as if they were reminders that challenges are not final, but opportunities to grow. Another striking aspect could be your relationship with the natural environment. While others saw nature only as a place to play, you may have felt a deeper connection with it. A walk outdoors, the sound of rain, or the shine of the stars could awaken in you a sense of peace and belonging that was not easy to explain. These moments were more than simple appreciations. They were reflections of your ability to feel something greater. Looking back, you may realize that these characteristics formed a solid foundation for who you are today. Each moment you felt different, each inexplicable intuition, or each time you connected deeply with something or someone, was a preparation for the greater purpose your life carries. These experiences shaped your ability to understand, help, and inspire other people. It is important to recognize that these feelings and childhood moments were not accidental. They were signs that something special was being built within you. These experiences prepared you to face challenges, understand human emotions, and seek a greater meaning for your existence. By revisiting these memories, you begin to see that every detail had a purpose, a reason to be there. You may have also demonstrated a deep sensitivity to perceiving what was happening around you. While other children were distracted by play or more immediate concerns, you seemed to grasp feelings and situations with a different perception. This ability was not common, but a special quality that allowed you to connect emotionally with others in a unique way. Perhaps you have memories of situations where, without any obvious word or gesture, you could identify that someone close was going through a difficult time. This person could be a schoolmate who became quieter and more distant, or someone in your family who, in silence, showed they were facing a challenging moment. This sensitivity, which seemed to arise without explanation, was a reflection of your connection to something greater. For example, you may have been that child who, in a room full of people, noticed when someone felt out of place and made a point of approaching them. Maybe you would share a toy, tell a story, or simply offer companionship because you knew instinctively that that person needed attention. Or who knows, in a fight between friends, you might have been the one who felt the tension in the air and did everything to resolve the situation, seeking to restore harmony in the group. This extraordinary empathy is not something that can be taught or learned easily. It is a characteristic that is born with you. From an early age, it manifests itself as an ability to see beyond appearances and feel what others feel, even when no one clearly expresses what is happening. This quality is one of the clearest signs that your life is linked to a special purpose. The empathy you demonstrated in childhood was not just a trait of your personality. It was a gift that prepared you for a greater role, a reflection of your connection to something divine. While many people ignore or overlook the emotions of others, you were able to welcome, understand, and act on what you felt. This is not a weakness. It is a strength that has shaped you to be a source of support and inspiration for others. In addition, this emotional sensitivity may have generated in you a natural desire to help. You may have found yourself, on many occasions, thinking about how to improve someone's situation, even if it wasn't directly your responsibility. For example, perhaps you saw a classmate being excluded and felt the need to integrate them into the group. Or, noticing that someone was sad, you would look for ways to bring joy or relief, whether with kind words or a simple gesture of solidarity. This perception, both of human emotions and the subtleties of the world around you, is a powerful tool that helps you better understand the purpose of your life. From an early age, these experiences have shaped who you are, preparing you to play an important role. It is not just about feeling or perceiving, but about using these abilities to make a difference in the world. Each moment you connected deeply with someone, each dream or intuition that guided your steps, and each moment of peace found in the simplicity of nature were signs that your life is special. They are reminders that you are not here by chance, but that you were chosen to fulfill something unique. Your sensitivity, empathy, and perception are gifts that empower you to transform the lives around you and follow the path that has been prepared for you. From a young age, you may have noticed that you were experiencing things that seemed different from other children. While many were carefree, engaged in play, or simply going with the flow of their routine, you may have noticed something special in moments that went unnoticed by others. It could be the perception of an unusual situation, a strong intuition, or the feeling that something bigger was happening around you. These episodes were not random. They were signs that your life was being guided and shaped for a unique purpose. Perhaps you have escaped situations that could have been dangerous, but in such a subtle way that only when looking back did you realize how you were protected. Imagine a moment when, on instinct, you decided to change direction while playing and, in doing so, avoided something bad. Or think of a time when someone unexpected showed up to offer help at just the right moment. These events, which might have seemed like luck at the time, actually reflect a special protection that has always been present in your journey. Many people who have a higher calling report having felt a constant presence, as if they were never really alone. It wasn't something they could explain in words, but rather an inner certainty that comforted them in difficult times. Perhaps you have experienced this too, as a sense of security even in the face of adversity. These moments were not coincidences. They were part of a plan to keep you on the right track. This sensitivity often led you to take actions that surprised others. You may have had a habit of offering help or comfort without being asked, simply because you felt it was the right thing to do. These attitudes, which to many might seem simple, were reflections of a heart molded to serve and a special connection to something greater. In addition, moments when you felt protected or guided were not just about avoiding danger. They also served to reaffirm that you were being prepared for something special. These episodes of protection, whether big or small, showed that your journey was carefully monitored, ensuring that you stayed on the right track, even when you didn't realize it. These experiences also awakened in you a sense of purpose. You may not have known exactly what you were destined to do, but you already felt that your life had a special meaning. This may have led you to seek answers, to explore the world around you with curiosity, and to try to understand why you had such significant experiences. Reflecting on your childhood, you may be able to see more clearly how every detail fits into a larger plan. The situations you faced, the emotions you felt, and even the moments of doubt or loneliness were part of a preparation process. Nothing was by chance. Everything contributed to shaping the person you are becoming and to empowering you to fulfill the role reserved for you. These signs, which may have seemed small or insignificant at the time, are reminders that you have always been cared for and guided. Recognizing these experiences is the first step to fully embracing the purpose that is being built in your life. Every detail, from moments of protection to the deepest reflections, point to something greater that awaits you and the special role you are called to play in the world. Perhaps you were a child who questioned everything around you, while others were content with simple answers or ignored the big questions. You felt an intense need to understand life in its essence. It could be the purpose of existence, the reasons for suffering, or even what happens after we leave this world. This search was not just childish curiosity, but a reflection of a special connection that was already being shaped within you. Today, looking back, recognize that this thirst for understanding was a way for God to work in you. Each question asked, each moment of doubt and reflection, was an opportunity for you to grow and be shaped for something extraordinary. Your curiosity was not just a childish trait. It was the sign that your life was destined to illuminate the path of others and bring clarity where there is uncertainty. Many people with a special purpose demonstrate an extraordinary ability to overcome the most difficult challenges. Perhaps as a child, you went through moments of rejection, loneliness, or even significant losses. But you found within yourself an inexplicable force that propelled you forward. This ability to rise again, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable adversity, is not common. It is a clear sign that something greater is at work in your life, preparing you to fulfill a unique purpose. Resilience, or the ability to face and overcome difficulties, is a hallmark of the chosen. It manifests itself in the most unexpected moments, as an inner strength that emerges when everything seems to be falling apart. If you have ever stopped to reflect on how you managed to overcome pain and difficulty in childhood, know that this strength is no accident. It is a reflection of a greater care, molding you for a special role. Perhaps you remember moments when you faced difficult situations, such as the loss of a loved one, family challenges, or injustices that seemed unbearable. In the midst of these trials, you may have felt an unexpected calm or found solutions that seemed impossible. These experiences were not mere coincidences, but part of a larger process of preparation. Each obstacle overcome was strengthening your mind, your heart, and your faith, shaping you for something extraordinary. For example, perhaps you were the child who, even in the midst of difficulties, found ways to bring comfort to those around you, or who, even carrying their own pain, could convey hope with a simple gesture or a word of encouragement. These moments were more than just overcoming. They were clear signs that you were being empowered for something greater than you could imagine. The difficulties you faced and overcame were not in vain. Think of the times when you felt you couldn't go on, but suddenly found a way out or received unexpected help. These events show that you were never alone, even on the darkest days. Each one was an opportunity to mold your inner strength and prepare you to fulfill your purpose. This resilience that has accompanied you since childhood is a powerful tool for your journey. Not only does it strengthen you, but it also inspires those around you. Your story of overcoming can be a living example for those who are just beginning to understand their own struggles and challenges. By sharing your experiences, You can be the light that guides others to find strength in the midst of their own battles. If you have felt these signs since childhood, leave your comment below. Your experiences can help other chosen ones recognize their own purposes and understand the paths laid out for them. Together, we can create a support network and inspiration so that more people can understand and embrace their special calling.